The name Lee Rigby was etched into the public's memory in May last year when he was murdered outside his barracks in London. Today, Fusilier Rigby's name was carved into history at the National Memorial Arboretum. So too the names of 16 other soldiers who lost their lives last year. Our correspondent Neil Connery was with their families at today's ceremony.
Clutching his Winnie the Pooh bear and lost in a child's world, Lee Rigby's son Jack. Today is Jack's 4th birthday, but this little boy was here to remember his fallen father. He was not alone. A child's innocence unburdened by the grief of his family around him and the families and comrades of 16 other service personnel who've lost their lives in the past year. At the National Memorial Arboretum, they gathered to remember the latest names to be engraved on its walls.
Robert Hetherington, William Savage, Lee Rigby, Edward Mayer, Craig Roberts.
When Fusilier Lee Rigby was murdered last year, his son Jack was just 2 years old. Today he showed a courage beyond his years, clutching his mother's hand, surrounded by family, all paying their respects at the place where Lee Rigby's name is now forever etched. On the wreath they placed, the message read, "You live on in Jack, he gets more and more like you, your loving wife and son." Lee Rigby's mother Lynn and stepfather Ian here too, with Lee's sister Sarah cradling her baby son who was given his fallen uncle's name. Amid the tears of 17 families, there was pride too, as they honoured those whose sacrifice will never be forgotten.
Neil Connery there remembering those 17 members of the armed forces killed last year.
Good evening from Granada Reports. Fusilier Lee Rigby from Middleton has been honoured on a national memorial to fallen servicemen. He was murdered by extremists near his barracks in Woolwich. His name has now been added to the National Memorial Arboretum in Staffordshire. Elaine Wilcox reports.
Lee Rigby's son Jack celebrated his 4th birthday today, remembering his father. Fusilier Lee Rigby's name, one of 17 added to the Armed Forces Memorial. The young father murdered in a terrorist attack in Woolwich. Lee's mother Lynn, stepfather Ian and his sister Sarah, nursing her new baby son, pay their own private tribute. Lee's father, who is with his widow Rebecca, was overcome as they laid their wreaths and needed support. Colonel Mike Glover from the Regiment of Fusiliers told me it was a day of mixed emotions for Jack.
I don't suppose he'll really understand what's really going on here, but he's happy enough with today. His family are here and the family are there to support him. So in some ways it's been rather nice that he's been able to celebrate his birthday.
The young Fusilier was off-duty killed on a busy street in Woolwich last May at the hands of Islamic extremists. In February, Michael Adebolajo and Michael Adebowale were sentenced to life. Michael Adebowale has now been given leave to appeal his 45-year sentence. Today, though, was all about remembering the soldier and supporting his family.
I hope that it gives Lee Rigby's family and all the other families who are here today a sense that an important milestone has been reached in the grieving process, which is of course difficult for them all. And the name of Lee Rigby and the others is engraved on the Portland stone walls of this memorial. We have honoured and remembered them in a very moving service, and there is of course great sorrow among the families, but hopefully also pride that they have paid the ultimate sacrifice, sadly, in the service of their country.
The Fusilier's parents had asked to watch as Lee's name was carved into the Arboretum stone.
I might think it's hard for me to carve the name while they're watching, but for them to see the name appear on the wall must be very difficult. So some very strong people.
A lasting tribute to ensure Fusilier Lee Rigby, the soldier from Middleton, is always remembered. Elaine Wilcox, ITV News at the National Arboretum, Staffordshire.